Our next section is about how to facilitate a healthy group. So first off, we want to encourage you to ask open-ended questions. It can be really easy to try to fill all the silent space with the answers to the questions you just asked, because sometimes silence feels awkward, but we want to encourage you, get used to silence. It's sometimes going to be quiet because people are thinking about how they want to answer the question that you just read from the book. Be sure in the Spiritually Freed Parenting group questions that you ask each one and then you wait. Just give time for silence after each and every question and allow other group members to begin to speak and to talk. And so as they do that, you're going to identify the people who really like to talk and the people who don't talk as much. And that's okay. But try to involve everyone, because sometimes there can be people who dominate the conversation, and it's your job as a leader to steer the conversation and allow for every single person to have the opportunity to speak. If this becomes an extreme problem, my suggestion is to actually go in a circle and allow each person the opportunity to respond to a question. And if they don't want to, they can just simply say pass. Another tip is just be a good listener, because sometimes people, when they start to share, they have a lot that they are unloading. It could be their own childhood trauma. It could be a trigger they experienced during the book. And the questions in the book itself about parenthood could bring up a lot of things that they feel like maybe they failed in. It could be that they learned so much that they're excited. So just simply be ready to listen. And if someone is ever sharing so much in the group that you realize that maybe it's isolating everyone else from the conversation, my encouragement is to tell that person, hey, that is such a good insight, and I would love for me and you to be able to talk after group about what you're sharing right now. Something else is just be sensitive to the Holy Spirit, because maybe there's a night where someone finally opens up about an issue that they're facing, and you want to simply take time for them to receive prayer right then. So stop the group and lay hands and pray over that person. Be sensitive to what the Holy Spirit might want to do each week in your group. Also, be sure you begin and end on time. So sometimes it can be tempting to allow the group to go over, but especially for those of you that have childcare, it's so important that you don't do that. So you've got to end by 8 o'clock. If you are here on campus and you're receiving childcare, I also encourage that even if you don't have childcare, because we need to be respectful of people's time. They're expecting a start time and an end time. So let's be respectful of one another's time, because we're all super busy in life. And even if you're not super busy, some people just have an early bedtime. So be sure you always say, hey guys, group is now over. You are released. If you'd like to talk after group, then we can do so. And in addition to that, be willing to give your time outside of a group. I know that that's hard for a lot of you. You probably have kids, you have a life, you have a job, a career. I get that. But as a group leader during this 6-week time period, and even if you continue being a group leader, you need to create margin in your life for your group members. It could be a phone call during the week, or even time before or after group to address special issues one-on-one, not in the group setting. In addition to that, be sure you ask for other volunteers to facilitate. So maybe you're just not very good at doing the food portion of your group. That's okay. Assign that to someone, and they can facilitate the food each week. Maybe you're not very good at the care piece. Assign a care person in your group who takes care of hospital visits or checking in with group members in crisis. Maybe you're not very good at communications. Assign a co-leader and let them be the person communicating about each week's meeting with group members. But you can facilitate ways for volunteers to help you create a healthy group culture. And one of the biggest things with facilitating a healthy group is to simply be sure that you're doing the group material yourself. If you're not reading the book, if you're not taking the time to invest in yourself spiritually and grow as a spiritually freed parent, you're not going to be able to pour into other people's lives the content and guide a healthy group discussion. So be sure that you are facilitating spiritual health in your own life so that you can also facilitate a spiritually healthy group.